Hi, this is Paul Kreutz, and welcome to Halloween How To. In this edition, I'm going to show you how you can make this ghostly and eerie statue. With this particular Halloween prop, it truly is just a trick of the light. So how is this ghostly special effect done? Well, I'm going to show you, so let's get started. Now, there are three key items that you are going to need. The first is a statue or a bust. I found this online. It's made out of resin, and to give you an idea of size, it stands 17 inches tall, and of that, the head portion is around 7 inches. Now, I wouldn't go any smaller than that because you really want a visual impact. The second key item that you will need is a blacklight. Now, it doesn't need to be very big, but it should be of good quality. Now, the third key item are these blacklight paints, and these are what are called invisible blacklight paints. And what that means is that under normal lights, they look white or off-white, but once exposed to blacklight, then their colors come out. Let me show you what I mean. So here they are being exposed to a black light under normal lighting conditions, but let's lower the lights and then you can see how the intensity of these invisible color blacklight paints really come out. Now, as you can see, the statue that I'm using, its color is more beige than white or even off-white, and that's even more apparent once you compare them against each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this statue by spraying it with a flat white spray paint. Now, this is a pure white, so what I'm going to do is give it one light coat, which means that some of that beige color of the statue is actually going to ghost through. So what I'm going to end up with is more of an off-white than a pure white. Well, now the fun begins. And when you're painting, I don't know that there's any real rules. I mean, the sky's the limit. The only suggestion that you have from me is that I would read the instructions on the paint thoroughly and also maybe experiment on another surface until you get your technique down. Well, the painting on this statue is done, and while that paint dries, I'm going to turn my attentions to the blacklight because that is what really animates this prop. We need to be able to manipulate the light source, and there's a few ways of doing this, so let's go over those. Now, one way of manipulating the black light is to use a black light that is a fluorescent tube and use that in a fluorescent light fixture. Now, there are several different things that you can use to manipulate that. I think the easiest is by using this. This is called a winker, sometimes it's called a flasher, and basically what happens is that anything that is plugged into it, the power to it will go off and on, and this has a very interesting effect to fluorescent light fixtures. Now, every fluorescent light fixture is different because they use different starters, different ballasts, so you're going to get different results. So it's really kind of a trial and error. This particular under-counter fluorescent light fixture works really well. I get both a inconsistent flash and the intensity of the flash is also inconsistent, so the result is very close to a lightning flash. Now, another way to manipulate the light source is through a rotating baffle. I'm using this electric motor, and you could also use a battery-powered motor, but it needs to rotate slowly, about 5 revolutions per minute. I'm using this half-round baffle that I made out of foam core board. It's very lightweight, so it doesn't take a lot to make it move. And as you can see, it's a very simple idea. You put it adjacent to or along with the light source, and you can see that it will block the light and then allow the light to fall back on the subject matter. As you can imagine, there are all types of different configurations that you can use for this rotating baffle, and each one will give its own unique lighting effect. But for this purpose, I'm just using this simple half round. This results in this eerie kind of fade in, fade out effect that is also very ghostly. I hope you have a lot of fun both making this prop and also using it for your Halloween display. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and take a look at our great animated web series that's perfect for Halloween, and that's called Gardner and Wells. Have a safe, fun, and spooky Halloween. Thanks for watching.